The American people deserve to know who they elected to be their president. They deserve to know if he's in fact putting America's interests first. And they deserve to know if Donald Trump is, wittingly or unwittingly, an agent for the Russian Federation.
President Trump is right. This process is political and it's corrupted to the core. I hope President Trump cleans up the cesspool and restores the integrity to the system. Are you going to ask?
Boy. So we got to talk about a couple of Democrats who are in some trouble. One who may be facing prison time, and another one who definitely is facing some prison time. And that is who we got to talk about here first. Okay. Former U.S. Senator from New Jersey, Bob Menendez, who was convicted in 2024 on multiple federal corruption charges, including bribery, conspiracy to commit honest services fraud, and acting as an unregistered foreign agent for foreign government. Now, prosecutors allege that Menendez accepted substantial bribes, including cash, gold bars, and luxury items from 3 New Jersey businessmen in exchange for using his political influence to benefit their interests and those of federal governments, notably Egypt and Qatar. The investigation revealed that Menendez provided sensitive U.S. government information to Egyptian officials and took steps to secretly aid the Egyptian government. Additionally, he was accused of pressuring New Jersey prosecutors to intervene in cases involving his associates. Okay, so Mr. Bob Menendez is facing 11 years in prison, okay, following this conviction, and he's now lashing out at the Democrats, claiming that the system is rigged, okay? The system is rigged, and that President Trump was right. Take a look.
Got some breaking news. Senator Bob Menendez, a former senator from New Jersey, convicted on extortion, conspiracy, and obstruction, and acting as a foreign agent after a sensational trial, has now just been sentenced to 11 years behind bars, according to our reporters inside the courtroom. We have Danny Savalos here with us who can help us understand this. Danny, this is such a big deal. Such a big deal. 11 years for a former senator forced to resign because of this conviction.
Back when this case was indicted, I assume Menendez's attorneys warned him that this is one of those cases. It's a white-collar federal criminal case where you have no guns, no drugs, no violence, no prior convictions for Menendez, but yet it is the loss guidelines. It is the calculated loss that puts a case into the stratosphere when it comes to sentencing. The sentencing guidelines in this case were calculated at a maximum of 30 years, and that was driven almost entirely by the loss amount and also, in addition, based on his official status and some other level increases under the guidelines. But make no mistake about it, most of the boost here is because of the dollar amount involved. And that's got to give someone like Menendez's wife, who has not yet gone to trial, some real pause as she considers whether or not she does want to go to trial.
Only in the SDNY could you embrace an FBI agent who was caught lying on the stand in order to make their case. Only in the Southern District of New York would prosecutors allow a witness to walk away from over 10 criminal charges, including defrauding the United States government, so that they can get him to lie on the stand. Welcome to the Southern District of New York, the Wild West of political prosecutions. President Trump is right. This process is political and it's corrupted to the core.
How is this political? The case was brought by Democrats.
Up the cesspool and restores the integrity to the system.
The case was brought by Democrats. How is this political? You're a Democrat. The case was...
Yeah, see, now you heard that. Now, I find what Bob Menendez is saying here to be fascinating for various reasons, okay? He's lashing out, claiming that the system has been weaponized against him, right? That this is political, right? Even though it's Democrats that are going after him, right? They're going after one of their own. Now, one of the reasons why I think that Bob Menendez may have a point is because he was convicted of acting as an unregistered agent for foreign governments, which is exactly what Hunter Biden was doing, right? You know, Joe Biden's son, okay? The most serious of charges that could have led to some real prison time for Hunter Biden, that the Biden-led DOJ didn't bring against Hunter Biden, but pretended as if, oh, well, the system's not weaponized. Look, you have the DOJ going after Hunter Biden with these tax and gun charges that nobody gives a damn about, right? And the prosecutors tried to get off Hunter Biden, right? They actually tried to make a sweetheart plea deal until it was caught by a judge, right? Which forced them to go back to the drawing table. And, you know, Hunter Biden ultimately got off because Joe Biden decided to pardon Hunter Biden, not just for the charges that he was facing, the conviction that he was facing from the DOJ. No. Biden decided to pardon Hunter all the way back to 2014 when he started working at Burisma, okay? In which Hunter Biden, under the Trump administration, had Hunter not gotten a pardon from Joe Biden. Under the Trump DOJ, they could have came back and charged him with acting as a foreign agent, right? Unregistered. They could have got him with that. That's the real charge there, okay? Because that's connected to the big guy, Joe. That's connected to the big guy. So when Bob Menendez comes out here and says that, yeah, this is political, right? I kind of agree with him because he's not Hunter Biden, right? You unfortunately was not Joe Biden's son, okay? So Joe couldn't get you off, even though he got off all his other friends, right? He couldn't get you off, Mr. Bob Menendez. You must have pissed off the Democrats, right? What I also found to be fascinating about what Bob Menendez was saying there is that, well, Trump is right. Trump was right, which to me sounds like he's low-key begging for a pardon, right? He's begging for mercy. He's doing what every single last one of these Democrats do when they get in trouble, right? They turn around and they go to President Trump for help, right? Just like Eric Adams. Eric Adams now all of a sudden, he loves Trump, right? He's at Mar-a-Lago. He's at the inauguration. In fact, Eric Adams, he's working with Tom Homan and ICE in order to deport illegals out of New York City.
And now we're hearing others are saying that Biden should pardon people because this will be difficult on their families and difficult on them, and they would have to pay high legal fees. Well, what about me? What about those mothers who are placed on FBI watch lists because they were standing up for their children?
Well, you said the other day you think that the justice system has been politicized. You believe that, don't you?
Yes, I do, with all my heart. But not only do I believe it, the president stated it.
Nice to see you here in Florida.
Always good to see you.
Can you tell me anything about the meeting? Did it go well?
Anytime you meet with incoming presidents go well. Tomorrow I'll be briefing everyone when I get back to the city.
Mayor Eric Adams is raising no objections to the raids by immigration officials in the Bronx, saying in one case the NYPD coordinated with the arrest of a particularly violent suspect. He said, quote, "We will not hesitate to partner with federal authorities to bring violent criminals to justice, just as we have done for years. Our commitment to protecting our city's law-abiding residents, both citizens and immigrants, remains unwavering. But the coordination comes despite New York City's sanctuary status, designed to protect law-abiding immigrants and due process rights, regardless of legal status." Comptroller Brad Lander says he'll be looking at the role the city played and continues to play in any arrests made by ICE.
Those laws are clear. When someone has been convicted of a range of serious or violent offenses, cooperation is appropriate, but it is not legal under New York City sanctuary laws for the NYPD to aid ICE when they show up at a school or a homeless shelter or a hospital.
Democratic Congressman Dan Goldman, who represents Manhattan and Brooklyn, says this is a slippery slope, and these raids go far beyond people suspected of violent crimes. He says they're about intimidating all immigrants.
There are people that I am hearing from who are very scared about going to school, going to church, going to medical appointments for fear of being arrested illegally.
Meanwhile, Republican Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis, who represents Staten Island and South Brooklyn, cheered the beginning of these raids and more deportations beginning under President Trump.
This is a serious victory for the people of New York who have seen criminals and foreign gang members wreaking havoc on our streets.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Eric Adams and the New York Police Department, they are working with the feds. He's going around these sanctuary city laws. He's saying, screw the sanctuary city laws. We are going to work with the federal government in order to help deport the ultra-violent illegal immigrant criminals. Now, lo and behold, you have senior Trump officials reportedly spoke to the Justice Department about dropping Eric Adams' indictment. So what you have here is the exact situation I said that would unfold after the election, in which Eric Adams all of a sudden came out and was talking about how the mass deportations don't sound too bad, right? They don't sound too bad, okay? And he started saying a whole bunch of nice things about Trump. And, I mean, we all kind of saw this coming, right? Eric Adams is going to let ICE do what they want to clean up his city, which I think, by the way, is a bargain, right? It's a great bargain. But on the other hand, President Trump is thinking about essentially dropping Eric Adams' indictment. And it seems as if that is coming down the pipeline.
Breaking news, CBS News confirms, according to a source familiar with the talks, that senior Justice Department officials have held discussions with federal prosecutors about Mayor Adams' case.
Political reporter Marcia Kramer joins us now here in studio to discuss so far what we know. Marcia, this broke not even an hour ago.
Actually, it broke half an hour ago.
Exactly. So what can you tell us so far that you know?
So what we know is this, that there have been discussions with senior administration officials of the Trump administration with people in the Manhattan U.S. Attorney's Office about the possibility of dismissing the case. It was an indictment that was brought last September against the mayor, charging him with bribery and trying to get foreign campaign contributions. Now, these conversations are sort of a normal part of what happens in a criminal court case, but it's unusual in that it comes after the mayor has heavily courted President Trump going to Mar-a-Lago before he was sworn in, and to his inauguration on the day he was sworn in. Now, the president has said that he has felt that the mayor was treated unfairly and has hinted that he might pardon him. But the fact that they're having these discussions now is unusual because of one thing. Just this past month, the U.S. Attorney's Office filed papers saying that they had covered new evidence of criminal activity on the part of the mayor. So it's an unusual development at a time when the mayor also is refusing to criticize much of what Mr. Trump is doing.
And also the mayor has taken this week off as well because of health reasons, which always adds a little bit more mystique to this situation.
Well, yes, but also, you know, it also comes as there are reports that the mayor has been having conversation with the president and with people in the president's inner circle. And also, you know, the mayor's lawyer, Alex Spiro, was in court today to have a closed-door, sealed proceeding to talk about discovery. In fact, I actually saw him when he came out and tried to talk to him because there were early reports about the case, and he basically said the mayor doesn't have to plead to anything because he's not guilty. This is his position, and it's been his position all along, that the mayor has not done anything wrong.
Yeah, so again, we're going to see what happens. All I know is this. I just find it hilarious how when these Democrats get in trouble, all of a sudden they become Trump supporters, right? All of a sudden they're like, Trump is right. The system is weaponized, right? And it's like, well, before you got in trouble, I didn't really hear a lot of this, okay? I did not hear you coming out here singing Trump's praises, saying that what was happening to him was political and wrong. But when you experience it, though, now all of a sudden it's political and it's wrong. So, listen, in the case of Eric Adams, look, you know, I'm not going to say that he is innocent. I don't know whether he's guilty or innocent. But had he not spoken out about the illegal immigrants, I find it hard to believe this would have happened to him, right? Because all of these politicians are dirty. And it seems as if your card gets pulled based on whether or not you are cooperating with the Democrats and their agenda, right? If your card gets pulled, then it's probably because you're not cooperating, right? So, you know, hey, I don't know. He probably is guilty. But I think that him speaking out against the illegal immigrants and bringing attention to the problem that was happening in New York City, Biden refused to help. He refused to give funds to Eric Adams. He refused to extend the work authorizations that would allow more illegal immigrants to work and stuff like that. Eric Adams feels like he got screwed over by the Biden administration, right? And he called out the Biden administration. And then he ended up getting raided by the FBI and then indicted. So I get it, right? I get it on his part. With Bob Menendez, though, it's like, bro, you was talking about how Trump was a puppet with a Putin, right? Or something like that. That's what you was talking about before. Now, all of a sudden, you talk about Trump is right, that the system is weaponized, right? Because you're facing 11 years. Nah, I don't think that Trump should give Bob Menendez the time of the day, okay? Eric Adams is actually useful. He's still the mayor of New York City, and he's allowing you to deport all their illegal immigrants. So that makes the Trump administration look good, right? If President Trump can clean up New York City with federal law enforcement, oh, that's a huge W for him. That's a huge W. And President Trump, he loves New York City, okay? So that's a huge W for him. I think it's personal, and I think he wants to work with Eric Adams in order to make the city better. And I think that's what he's doing for Eric Adams. I'm just saying, I just hope that this doesn't become a pattern, okay? Every time Democrats get in trouble, the first thing they do is to call on Trump. Because the last thing that I want to see is when the super ghetto mayor of Dalton, Illinois, Miss Tiffany Henyard, when she finally gets that indictment from the FBI, the last thing I want to hear is her talking about how the system is weaponized against her. Trump, give me a pardon, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, okay? She already invoked Trump once, right? She already invoked the president once.
Trump did win, and congratulations again. This is me saying it publicly to our new president of the United States. Just like Trump, I'm going to come in on a landslide on both seats. Know that. Remember this moment when I landslide and come in for the victory like I always do.
Yeah, nah, we're not falling for this. We're not falling for this. She's trying to line herself up the same way that all of these other Democrats try to line themselves up to get into President Trump's good graces, right? Once they get in trouble, nah, they better not, right? That's the one thing that would piss me off if President Trump decides to do, to pardon Tiffany Henyard or to get the DOJ to drop potential future charges against her. Again, I would be pissed, right? I would be super pissed, okay? Eric Adams, I can let it slide. Bob Menendez, I don't think he's worth President Trump's time. I don't think he's going to help out Bob Menendez. Tiffany Henyard, hell no, right? I don't even want anybody thinking about helping this woman out, right? She has to be held accountable. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.